The scenery outside feels even more beautiful. I believe it's because you're with me, Commander.
What is going on? Today we are back again looking at how much value Brid actually provides for your account. And today we are going to be checking out what Brid is capable of doing with a unit such as Mihara. Now, for this battle, we are going to be going over to the interception battle. And we want to make sure we are going up against Indivilia simply because of the fact that, of what Brid is capable of doing, providing extra damage to a fire code ally towards a wind code enemy, but also because of the fact that Mihara is designed to be strictly for a boss battle. Now, saying that, is she going to be absolutely amazing and perfect? No, absolutely not. But it's going to be interesting to see what her damage capability is for a boss battle with Brid compared to not with Brid, right? So, like I say all the time, I'm going to essentially just let it run on auto, and we're going to see the damage comparison that Brid provides for Mihara, and then without. What's also very nice here is that since it is a boss battle, it has the separate cores, right? Which is the main point of how we want Mihara to actually be doing her overall damage, and the actual damage output for Brid is actually amplified when it comes to battling against code green enemies. So again, I'm just going to let this go, and we're going to see what the damage number is, and boom. So right now the damage number is 17.6 million. Now keep in mind, obviously, that Mihara isn't necessarily like the absolute strongest, right? So that's where she's sitting at right now. Not the greatest, not the worst. Fine, 17.6 million. So what is her damage numbers going to be without Brid? And then we're going to dive more into that kind of stuff, right? So we'll go ahead and take Brid off, and we'll go ahead and let's throw Nayuta in, because Nayuta is somewhat of a decent damage buffing character, just to get the core concept of overall value that Brid actually provides for a fire DPS character. And we'll go ahead and look at number wise. So obviously, we get the bursts going here. Now I'm predicting we're going to see probably I want to say 5 million difference, possibly, maybe more. The overall damage isn't necessarily what we're focusing on. Yeah, okay, so 2 million damage difference, 2 million. It does actually add credence to the fact that Brid is actually very good. So we're looking at about a 2 million damage difference just for Mihara, right? Now, looking at her, I have her 777, triple sevens, right? And where her damage actually comes from is the fact of all the ensnaring chains. Now, I know she's not the best fire code character in the game, easily not. But that's where she is with that character. Now, let's get a little freaky here, right? Let's go ahead and put the GOAT in here, and let's just look at the damage comparison just so it's very well cemented just how far back that Mihara actually is. Now, is Brid able to bump her up on a tier list basis? No, unfortunately not. I don't think that is the case. What I do think, though, is that Brid in her full capability is actually able to fully maximize red code allies, in the sense that they are just doing stupid amounts of damage. So that it's just a comparison, right? Just to show how far back Mihara actually is in comparison to someone like Ruppy Red Hood. But the fact that Brid is actually able to bring forward a fire code ally against a wind code enemy and provide more support than someone like Nayuta is just crazy. Now, I do think that this combination could actually be decent if it was properly set up and all of that fun jazz, right? But it's just interesting to see how much value this one character has for a code that honestly is cracked. Now, let's go ahead and look at actually, all the codes. If it lets me, I don't actually think it's gonna let me. No, it's not gonna let me. Whatever. But we'll look at burst 3 characters and see like whom it would benefit the most. Honestly, now while someone like Alice could be boosted a lot more, like Mihara was, because it's actually a sizable and noticeable difference in power. Granted, like I said, right? Keep in mind, Mihara is not that great. She has definitely not that that factor, that wow factor that other fire code characters have. Alice right here could be very good, but the next video I kind of want to do is Asuka, because of the fact that she actually does really good damage and it helps boost fire code allies. So just seeing how much both of them are capable of doing to a god tier character such as Robbie Red Hood, who can also use burst 1, is just going to be absolutely insane. But that's going to be all from you guys, and I will see you all within the next video.